Good day, everyone. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to join us as we go over Ibexis' industry-leading 23.5% S&P Cap on a fixed indexed annuity. My name is Tim Watts, and I have Sam and Kevin from Ibexis on the line today. Before we jump into this amazing product, I do have some important information that I wanted to share with you about why agents love working with us over here at IAMS. Before I get into those details, we will have a few polls, and you have an opportunity to ask any questions that you'd like. You can simply put the questions in the question box, and then as we go through the presentation today, I will pop up a few polls. Please participate in those, as we want this to be very engaging and interactive. The first thing I'd like to highlight about working with us over here at IAMS is when you give us a call, we're going to give you that best-in-class customer service. And that starts with our commitment by answering the phone with a live person. We try to do that within 2 rings or less. So if you like not having to deal with a dial by name directory and actually getting your phone calls answered by a real life human, give us a call at 800-255-5055. Our new producer builders are for those who are new to us over here at IAMS. These bonuses are available based on your production level in your first 180 days of contracting with us. As you can see, we've got great levels that you can qualify at. We've got incredible business building tools, personal perks for you, and even cash rewards if you'd like that. I've got a group who qualified for our $1 million level, and they're going to be doing some dinner workshops as their reward. So with that production, they're going to be able to get some workshops paid for, some seminars paid for by IAMS to continue that growth of their business. If you don't know where you're at on that new producer bonus level, give your annuity sales director a call and we can help you out with that. Moving on to another business builders program, we'll go to our referred producer program. Our business on the wholesale side of the industry is similar to yours in the field, that one of the best leads we could ever obtain is a referral from our valued producers. I do see a couple producers on here who have referred some agents over to us. Thank you, Sherry and others. That being said, when you refer a producer to us and they do get contracted with us, we'll cut you a $50 check. Where the real money comes in is as your referral writes business, you'll receive an override on that business. Our ownership team, Steve, Charles, Curtis, and Chris, sign checks for thousands of dollars every quarter. With that being said, if you can think of anyone that could benefit from doing business with our team, please type their information into that questions box or send me an email at timw@iamsinc.com with that information, and I will reach out to them. Below that is our market reimbursement program, which is a very popular program that we have. For every $100,000 in fixed indexed premium you sell, you get $100 into your marketing reimbursement account. Why this is so popular and lucrative for our advisors is we truly consider it to be your money. We don't cap your account, mandate you to where you have to spend the funds, or tell you when you have to cash in that account. It's your marketing reimbursement, so you can pull it out as those $100 bills go in, or you can let it build up. It's totally up to you. You can also utilize our IAMS creative department with your marketing reimbursement, and they can do all of those in-house creative functions. So whether it's helping out with your website, creating a flyer, or a logo for your brand, we can certainly do that for you. Back office support, this is another way that we add value to your business. This is a core of IAMS and how Charles Hearing founded us over 36 years ago. We want to help the independent advisor work smarter, not harder. We are going to do that with great business building tools and resources. Of course, advanced case design assistance for life and annuity quotes are available. We guarantee to get that back to you within 24 hours, but we typically can get that to you in about an hour or 2. Submission to commission support is handled by our new business teams. We've got Amber heading up the annuity side, and then Michelle and her team on the life side. They'll scrub your applications, submit them on your behalf, and then do all of the administrative tracking, getting you updates along the way. We do this to ensure you get commissioned as quickly as possible. This is a service that we provide to our valued producers and how we help you grow your business by keeping you in front of clients while our team handles the back office support for you. Firelight eApps, this is a single sign-on at IAMSinc.com. Technology is where the industry is going, and Firelight is a top-notch site streamlining the application process. Most of our carriers are on the eApp platform, so you can go onto one site and submit business. It's COVID-friendly, and some carriers are even going to eApp only for some of their product lines, and or will offer additional commissions for utilizing those eApps. Make sure you ask your sales director before you submit that next case if you can earn more commissions by utilizing an eApp. Utilizing Firelight and those eApp platforms also substantially accelerates the application process. The eApp platform helps you submit business in good order the first time. This also reduces the processing time of your business and gets you paid quicker. As I mentioned previously, this is a single sign-on at IAMSinc.com. We've integrated our business with Firelight so you can have the most efficient and effective way to submit business. We do have that full in-house creative team that I referenced earlier on that marketing reimbursement. They've got a lot of turnkey items that are available for you. We can simply impose your contact information and your business logo onto it. Speaking of logos, agency solutions are something that we are very good at, and something that if you haven't created a full customized brand for you and your agency, we would highly recommend that you do that, and we can help. This is going to assist you with name recognition, which grows your natural market. We can get your logo designed and imposed on business cards, brochures, and stationery. Really, whatever you want us to get that logo put on, we can help you out with that. Lastly, we are having a lot of agents who are looking for those digital marketing solutions. Our team can help with websites, social media marketing, email marketing, and more. The internet and social media sites are where the overwhelming majority of prospects go to for information. Making sure you're accessible and represented in these marketing lanes is beneficial to growing your business. Reach out to myself or one of our sales directors when this concludes if you're interested in getting some services from that IAMS creative team. Our website is a great tool for our producers to use, and another reason to work with us at IAMS. There's literally thousands of items and tools to support agents with annuities, life insurance, and several other product lines. If you haven't registered for the website, it's very simple to do. When we're done with this call, go ahead and create an account. We'd love to see you on there. A lot of great tools are available on there, as I mentioned earlier, including illustration tools, online forms, product grids, product news, as well as industry updates. We founded IAMS Wealth 5 years ago now. What we've done is grow this division on IAMS very organically. We've helped advisors become IARs and pass the Series 65 at a very successful rate. Once we have you registered, we'll bring great value to your practice with an incredibly competitive fee structure for both you and your clientele. We've got great technology and an investment platform, and this has been a very big growth sector of our business, as well as assets under management could be another big growth sector for you and help you capture that full wallet share from the clients that you're working with. If you're interested in IAMS Wealth, reach out and we'll get you set up with Duncan over there. We just hosted our 5th Life and Annuity Academy this past August. It was actually last week. These 2-day trainings are an excellent opportunity for our agents who are looking for new ways to grow their business. We actually brought in 19 different speakers. We had 2 agents in attendance. You just look at that ratio of speakers per attendees, and it's a great experience. We do cover all of your expenses, including your flight, hotel, the cost of the training, and your food and beverages while you're out here. So it's a very value-added experience for you. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pop up our first poll here, and that is going to be, would you like more information about our next Life and Annuities Academy? So I'm going to go ahead and pop that on here. Well, I talk about our next slide here. This is going to be our Seaside Sanctuary. This actually is going to kick off next week. We've got some folks headed out there to to set that up. And then we're in our qualification for the Kiwi Islands. So, well, one trip is getting ready to happen. We're in the production of the other one. I'm going to go ahead and close that poll. Thank you, everybody, for interacting with us and then staying engaged. I really appreciate it. There you'll see those qualifications for that Seaside Sanctuary in Kiwi Islands. $4.5 million on the run rate gets you qualified. And then if you're in the top 20, we actually have some additional days of time and travel that you can go to. We put a lot of great stuff out there on Facebook and LinkedIn. Make sure you follow us out there and stay connected. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Sam and Kevin with Ibexis, and they're going to let you know about this fantastic fixed index annuity and all of the great functions that it's got. So, well, I'm giving that over there to Sam and Kevin. I do appreciate everybody's time there, learning more about us over here at IAMS.
All righty, give me 1 second here. And I just want to make sure you can see my screen all right. How does that look, Tim?
I can see it. Yeah, you look good.
All right, perfect, brother, perfect. Well, hey, I appreciate you having us on, and thanks everybody who have joined. You know, I'm absolutely thrilled to have FIA Plus in market, and I'm excited to share the details with all of you today. So really what I'd like to go through is I'd like to go through 3 things. First, I figured we'd spend a little bit of time on Ibexis as a company. Then I'll go through the FIA Plus product, which was recently launched in the marketplace. And lastly, I want to share some ways and some positioning ideas we're seeing producers have the most success with. So with that, I will go ahead and jump into it. Again, a little bit about Ibexis. Ibexis is an A-rated carrier, excellent with AM Best, and they had that rating reaffirmed here in 2023. So an excellent financial strength, and they have large institutional financial backing in their partnership with Investcorp. And Investcorp is a $50 billion global asset manager. They have extensive investment expertise that spans the globe. So Ibexis, they get their capital from Investcorp, and they use Investcorp as their investment manager. So for Ibexis, this really provides them with, you know, great risk-adjusted returns, and it gives them the ability to offer extremely competitive rates on their products, all while keeping the security of an A-rated company. And although Ibexis is a new name, it is a new company, they actually trace their origins back 85 years to Sunset Life. Investcorp purchased Sunset Life, renamed it Ibexis, and then shed the legacy business. So there's no old business on the books. Everything at Ibexis is new business. There's not a bunch of legacy and old admin systems that you have to deal with as producers. So everything at Ibexis is new business. There's a great leadership team in place. Nate Jamiti, the CEO, he was actually an operating partner at Apollo when first starting Athene. They also have executives from Athene, Global Atlantic, Transamerica, Blackstone, you name it. So really strong leadership across the board. And while Ibexis is creating innovative product, they're also investing a ton of money into their back end. When you start doing business with Ibexis, or if you already have, you'll notice it's an all digital experience. Everything's streamlined to make the operational processes and administration very efficient. And even in 2023, Ibexis, they've released a bunch of updates to their agent portal. If you go out there, all the relevant policy information and documents, they live on the portal. You know, from a new business perspective, if you've got business pending, you can see what's outstanding on a case with detailed notes all in one place. So again, a lot of heavy lifting Ibexis is doing from a service perspective to make things as easy as possible for clients and advisors. So that's a little bit about Ibexis. I'd like to spend the rest of the time here going through the FIA Plus product. And the FIA Plus, when you look at FIA Plus, it's really consistent with Ibexis's current product themes, and that's a strong base product with optionality you don't see in other products in the marketplace. And similar to MYGA Plus, which launched last year, you know, at its core, MYGA Plus, it's a MYGA, but it has that plus bucket which is performance triggered on the S&P 500. And you can really think of FIA Plus in the same light. FIA Plus, at its core, it's a fixed indexed annuity. It has the same major benefits that all FIAs have. And if you want, it can behave exactly like other FIAs in the marketplace that are built for growth and accumulation, but it has additional optionality. And that optionality is when a client has gains in their contract, they can elect to use those gains and pursue higher upside potential above and beyond what's available in other FIAs. You know, if you're predicting a bull run, hey, you can go risk on with your clients. If you think there's going to be a recession or some sort of market pullback, you can go risk off. And those are choices traditional FIAs don't have. And I think that's really what makes the FIA Plus so powerful. But what I'd like to do is just talk through some of the base chassis specs here. The FIA Plus comes in a 7 and 10 year chassis. The 7-year issues to 83 and the 10-year issues to age 78. 25,000 is the minimum and 1.5 million is the max without prior approval. But any cases above 1.5 million, just let Ibexis know and we can get pre-approval for you there. There's a full death benefit and free withdrawals are available in year 2 at 10%. The contract's RMD friendly as well, beginning in year 2. And you can see the available states here. We just had a couple more state approvals. So currently available in 43 states and the District of Columbia. And one other item to note, there is no fee whatsoever for FIA Plus or any of its features. All of that is built right into the contract. Here are the current index options inside of FIA Plus, and I think Ibexis was very purposeful here in selecting which indices are best for the chassis, and we think these indices each have their own benefits and they complement each other very well. We've got the familiar S&P 500 strategy, annual point-to-point with a cap, and then there's also the Bank of America index, the U.S. Strength Fast Convergence Index that uses Bank of America's patented Fast Convergence technology, which can update the index allocations up to 7 times daily. So this index, it's really your home run hitter. It's equity only. The equity component is the Russell 1000, and it has an extremely high vol target of 12.5%. So there's the opportunity here for higher returns and participating in more of the upside with a rising equities market. We also have the HSBC AI Global Tactical Index with a 7% volatility target. This index leverages artificial intelligence and it's investing across a global portfolio of equities, gold, and bond ETFs. So it's more diversified. This is more for your singles and doubles, but you might get on base more often. It's also the first of its kind to leverage the power of Amazon and Amazon Web Services to influence its decision-making process. And you know, if you're like me, there's basically an Amazon truck parked outside my house during the week with all the stuff we order. So you can imagine all the data points that Amazon has. Just a really unique story there in a brand that every client's going to be familiar with. So we talked about the indices. Let's take a peek at the current rates on the FIA Plus. And here are the rates for the 7 and 10 year product. As you can see, all rates are banded at 100,000. We're looking at the 7-year and 10-year high band rates. Now, as you evaluate each floor option, you'll notice the lower the floor, the higher the rate in the form of either a cap rate or a participation rate. The high band S&P 500 cap rate is 11% right now in the 0 floor. And in the negative 15% floor, there's an upside cap rate of 23.5% on the S&P 500, which is unheard of inside of fixed indexed annuities. And both engineered indices, they have participation rates north of 200% in the negative 15 floor. So extremely competitive rates across the board. And you know, even if we take out a step outside of fixed annuities, RILAs or registered index linked annuities, that's a rapidly growing annuity product category. Some of you may be familiar with, and you know, RILAs, they are technically securities. You have to be securities licensed to write them. RILAs have negative 10% floors, which the FIA Plus also has. And the rates inside of the FIA Plus are priced so that they're going to be very competitive, to what you'd see in RILAs. So, you know, I look at the FIA Plus, it's a great option for somebody or a client who maybe they want that RILA-like functionality, maybe they want more upside than a traditional FIA, but still have full principal protection. With this product, it can be an FIA if you want it to be, and it can be a RILA if you want it to be. Clients can get the best of both worlds in a single product with no additional fees. So we talked about this opportunity to move into lower floors. Let's look at how these floor selections are actually made each contract anniversary. And this table that you're looking at here, it looks like a lot of information, but let's simplify it. We're looking at the available options for a client in a hypothetical $100,000 FIA Plus policy. Now, a client will have two values. They'll have strategy values, and then they'll have a tracking value. So the strategy value that in the first year, that's the initial premium. Now the tracking value, that can increase or decrease each year based on underlying index performance. So in the first year, the strategy value and the tracking value, they're the same because there's no gains in the contract yet. And in that first year, because there's no gains, only the 0% floor is available. And you can see that here with the availability chart. Now, in year two, the client does well, they earn a positive return, and so their tracking value grows to 107,350. Now, as you can see, the TVAR column, TVAR is a technical term for it, but for our purposes, you can just think of it as the gains in the contract. That's now 6.8%. That's the most that a client could possibly risk while keeping their principal protected. Remember, this is a principal protected product. It's still an insurance product. So the gains in the contract, those are used, that 6.8, that's used to determine floor availability and the maximum floor somebody could get into. So in year two, that's the gains of 6.8%. That opens up the negative 2.5% floor and the negative 5% floor as available selections. The negative 2.5 and negative 5 floor, those carry with them higher upside potential in the form of higher cap rates and higher par rates, which we saw on the previous slide. If we move to year three, the client did well again, so now their gains cumulatively are 14.8%. All floors except the negative 15 floors available because the gains aren't quite at 15%. And in year four, the client does well again. They earn another positive return. In year four, all available floors are available to the client as potential selections on contract anniversary. But one thing I want to reiterate, just because these additional floors become available to the client, if they want to, they can simply stay in the 0% floor or any of the other floors that are available to them. What a client can also do is they can set something called their floor limit at issue or on any contract anniversary. So for example, in this scenario, if you sat down with a client and they set their floor limit to negative 15%, each year as floors become available, the allocations will automatically move into the lowest available floor down to negative 15. So they set it at negative 15% at the beginning. In year two, their allocation would automatically go to the negative 5 floor. In year three, the negative 10 floor. In year four, the negative 15 floor, and so on and so forth. And you know, when you look at contract anniversaries for regular FIAs, clients are really making two decisions when you sit down with them. It's, you know, what indices and then what percentage should I allocate to each index? With FIA Plus, you choose the index, you choose the percentage allocations, and then you're also just making one more decision, and that's what floor do you want to be in? So clients have additional optionality and flexibility each anniversary. So with that, let's look at a couple of different floor limits in action. This is an example 10-year FIA Plus. It's a $100,000 initial premium, and it's based on the last 10 years of S&P 500 data. So the light blue, that what you're seeing there, that's the strategy value. That's based on the initial premium. And then that green shaded area, that's the tracking value. That's showing the performance of the initial premium and the selected index over time. Now, in this scenario, the clients decided to remain conservative. They're keeping their floor limit at 0%, and they keep it there for the entire contract in this example. When they do that, both their initial premium and any gains are downside protected throughout the whole contract because they're in a zero floor. The worst they can do every year is zero. In this scenario, the product's behaving exactly like a standard FIA that's built for growth and accumulation. What's also noteworthy and I think really important is the tracking value, that larger number, that can actually be leveraged by a client for withdrawal purposes. So a 10% free withdrawal is based on the tracking value. If they surrendered, annuitized, or if there were a death benefit, all of those are based on the tracking value. So starting with 100,000, after 10 years, the end result for this client is 213,453. Now, let's look at another example, but in this scenario, the initial principal is 100,000, but this client, they've got a more risk-on approach. During the initial application process, the producer and the contract owner, they elect a negative 15% floor limit. Basically, they want to move into the lowest floors possible as they come available and as they accrue gains in the contract. And they keep that negative 15 floor limit for the duration of the 10-year term. So as the FIA Plus, as it earns interest over time, there is downside risk of accrued gains, not principal, but gains. You can see that by the gray dotted line, but they can never go below the blue area, their strategy value, AKA their initial premium, even with this risk on approach. And with a client being in the lower floors, which have higher rates, a client ends the 10-year term here with 275,000 after an initial premium of 100,000. So a ton of upside here. So I'd like to shift gears just a little bit and talking about positioning. Really when we look at FIA Plus and we're talking to producers who are having success with this product, we're really seeing sales sort of go one of two ways. And the first is simply keeping the story as simple as possible and using the FIA Plus as a fixed income or bond replacement. Here's a product from an A- rated carrier with an 11% S&P 500 cap rate. There's 10% free withdrawals beginning in year 2. There's no fee at all. And, here with this new producer incentive that I'll talk through in a moment, the street commission is basically 7%. So although we're fans of the optionality this product has, with the zero floor rates being so high, some producers, they're not even bringing up the lower floors in their initial conversations. They're selling this product and positioning it just like the FIAs they're already writing. But hey, it can be a great talking point down the line. Couple years down the line, hey, the market was down 20%. This product, it did what we wanted. You got a zero. Now we think the equity markets are poised for a run or a rebound. We can really supercharge your accumulation potential and you can move into one of those lower floors that has more upside. But again, that conversation is not even coming up for a couple years down the line. And then the other way that we're seeing this product be positioned and where producers are really having success is playing up the optionality with FIA Plus and the rates that are available in those lower floors. And, I think now more than ever, having flexibility is a great thing, especially with the economic uncertainty we're seeing. Looking back over the last 3 years have been the most chaotic time period in most people's financial journeys. The S&P 500, it was down 34% in 2020. It made a full rebound. Inflation ran wild. The Federal Reserve raised interest rates 10 times. The S&P was down 20% again last year. Just given the markets and all the economic uncertainty now more than ever, I think clients, they need that safety, they need that flexibility, and they need choices each contract anniversary because we're seeing it every day. Things can change in an instant. And that negative 15 floor, that carries, like we said earlier, a 23.5% cap rate on the S&P 500. And For both engineered indices, the par rates are over 200% in that -15 floor. So just a tremendous amount of upside in those lower floors for clients. And one comment, this actually was a conversation that came up the other day. It was somebody who likes using the fee for rate options on accumulation products. And with products that have fee for rate, what you're doing is you're paying the fee no matter if the index is flat, up, or down. Now with FIA Plus, while it's possible to lose gains down to the floor amount, you're not paying a fee when the index is flat or when it's positive. Also, with the FIA Plus, the client's principal is always fully protected. With fee for rate, if a contract doesn't have gains, that fee could actually erode the initial premium in the early years of the contract. We know, an illustration, it's only as good as the paper it's written on. And, I don't know how many of you are using illustrations in your practices, and, you can decide if this is something you want to run with, but the illustrated returns on this product are fantastic. We took a look at a $250,000 initial premium blended among the 3 index options, and we used a -15% floor limit. Illustrations, they'll typically have best, worst, and average scenarios. And with the lower floor limit and index blend, the worst case scenario is actually 11.63%. And in that worst case, the 250K would have grown to over 750K over that 10-year period. The best case scenario is 17.3%, with the 250K growing to over 1.2 million. So a ton of upside here when you go out and you look at an illustration. And one thing I keep coming back to, and it's an analogy I heard, and I'll share it with you to sort of put a bow on this product and how I like to think of it. But, I want you to imagine you're on a journey from the East Coast to the West Coast, New York to LA. You start in downtown Manhattan in your car, but you're stuck in traffic. It's bumper to bumper. You look to your left and you see a bicyclist whiz past you. You look out your window a minute later and he's a mile down the road. So what do? You jump out of your car, you sell your car on the spot for a ridiculously low price, and you buy the nearest bicycle you can find, and you continue on your journey to the West Coast. Now, does this make sense? Absolutely not, but clients do it every day. They make short-term, emotional, or rational decisions. I think it's important to always keep the end in mind and stay in the vehicle that's going to best get you to your destination, wherever that might be. We think of the FIA Plus as keeping the car, but having a bike in the trunk so you can navigate those cities you come across when you need it. FIA Plus, it's a both and solution. It can do what an FIA can do. It can do what a RILA can do. You can shoot for more upside in the years you want it while always keeping your principal protected. You're not giving up one for the other, and you're not trading safety for growth in this product. Lastly, I want to talk through the producer incentive that Ibexis just recently updated. Given that the FIA Plus launched mid-year, Ibexis understands that there's a lot of producers that are you're well on your way to hitting additional compensation tiers with other carriers. So to help with that, Ibexis has given all producers a $2 million production credit, which automatically allows you to hit the first tier and a 50 basis point commission increase with your first FIA Plus application. The tiers are on the right-hand side of the slide here. They start at 50 bips and they go all the way to 200 basis points. So a great way for you to earn some additional comp to help you build your business. To wrap things up, I think we really have a unique product with FIA Plus. At its core, it's an FIA. It's got extremely competitive rates from an A-rated carrier, but it gives clients a little something extra with additional optionality that other products simply don't have. So with that, I just want to thank all of you for joining, for taking some time out of your day. I know you're busy to sit down here and learn more about Ibexis and FIA Plus. A big thank you to Tim for hosting and having us on, and IAMS in general for your partnership. Can't thank you enough. And with that, Tim, I'll turn it back over to you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I do have another poll question here for everybody, so I will post that up. And that is, would you like some information, or are you ready to contract? and get rolling with this product here. So I'll put that poll up there now. We did have a question from the group, and that was, do you, oh, there we go. That poll is launched now. Sorry about that. So if you would please participate in that poll again, looking to see if you'd like some more information about this great product, and if you'd like to get contracted, be able to start selling this. But we did have a question around state availability. So Sam, I'll kick that over to you. Are there what states is this not approved in?
Yeah. So I think it's 43 states and DC. The states that it's not approved in, oh, just give me 1 second here. Let me pull up.
I can answer that, Sam.
Yeah, go ahead, Kevin.
We're not in New York, New Jersey, Vermont. We're not in Wisconsin, Alabama, or Tennessee, or California. So we applied to California. That should be coming hopefully towards the end of the year. Alabama and Tennessee also should be coming shortly, but Wisconsin, that's going to take a while. New York, we're never going to get into. New Jersey, that's going to take a long while. And I don't know about Vermont, but we're not there yet either. But everybody else,
okay, but
we are in.
But we think California is coming in the near future, though. That's a big one.
Yeah, we applied there. So we just got in there with our MIGA Plus. So we are, we've already filed our paperwork for the FIA Plus. So hopefully that'll be coming shortly as well.
Awesome. And then one more thing just to clarify here. So on that commission bonus, you're saying that everybody automatically is getting $2 million because we launched this in the middle of the year. So if they sell $1 million, they'll qualify for that second level at 75 basis points. Is that correct?
I apologize. So the grid that I showed, that's actually net of the $2 million credit. So originally it was 0 to 2 million, and then you get 50 bips, but Ibexis gave a $2 million credit. So the grid that you're seeing is net of that credit. So 0 to basically 2.99 million of actual production gets you 50 bips. Once you do 3 million of actual production, you get to 75 basis points. That grid is, like I said, net of the $2 million credit.
But if let's say my first case was 250,000, I automatically qualify. That's going to get the additional 50 basis points of commission on it, correct?
That's correct. Yep. Any premium amount will get additional 50 basis points. That's correct. Yep. It starts at 0, that first tier of 50 bips. So a submitted application or issued application, you're getting an additional 50 bips.
Yeah. So if you're at street, it's street plus, 0.5. And then once you get to $3 million, then we're going to go retroactive back down to $1, and we're going to credit that $3 million another 20.25, and then every dollar over $3 million will be paid at let's say street plus 0.75 until you hit the next level.
Awesome. Well, Sam, Kevin, I really appreciate the partnership. Everybody who jumped on here today, thank you for your time. I look forward to connecting with you and going over Ibexis and this fantastic product. Everybody have a great day. Thank you for attending. Bye now.